Well, Metalomaniacs, as you can see, the badassery continues here on Metalomania tonight, and we're joined by, we love nothing more than to bring in our awesome metal friends, man, and we're joined by one of them now. What's up, Darin? How are you tonight, brother?
The circumstances, I'm doing as good as I can, I'm hanging in. How are you?
Under the circumstances, indeed, man. And I tell you what, we're going to get, you've had yourself quite a week, man, and we're going to get to that, as a matter of fact, because crazy shit. But before we get to that, let's give everybody a quick update on those who do not know. They should already be following Greyhawk and already know who you are. But for those who don't, introduce yourself to the masses for me, my friend.
You got it. My name is Darin Wall. I played at a power metal band based out of Seattle called Greyhawk. If you haven't heard us before, we're a pretty melodic band. Lots of shredding, lots of clean melodic vocals in the vein of old school vein of Dio, Judas Priest, Halloween, Manowar, bands like that. The ancient heavy metal, I guess you could call it, stuff from years gone by. And yeah, we were just this, we have our first full length album out. We released it during the pandemic, and we are kind of starting to tour on it now. And that's when we come to the story we're about to talk about.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And for those following along at home, Keepers of the Flame is the name of that full-length release, and it's mandatory listening for you, though. And we'll give you a little sampling of it as we talk about our story here. But let's set this up a little, if we may.
Good evening. We begin the news at 6 tonight with the heroic actions of a man by the name of Darin Wall. He's a bass player for a heavy metal band out of Seattle that was performing over the weekend at the Shredder, a popular music venue south of downtown Boise. Wall took a bullet to the leg while stopping a man who had a gun. The suspect, 26-year-old Ethan Bird, faces multiple charges, including aggravated battery and use of a deadly weapon.
Now, Scully and I decided we are going to go out to a horror movie. And it sounds like at the time we were at a horror movie, you were at a horror show yourself, and it wasn't intended to be such, was it?
No, it was not. So we were playing a show at the Shredder in Boise, Idaho, which is a really, really cool club. We played with our buddies Command were there. They came with us from Seattle. There's a band called, so a couple local bands there as well. Filth Hounds and the Great Lord Owl were there. And it was a great time. Everyone, there's a great sense of family in the room. I'd never played in Boise before. And I got to say the local metal scene there was really like a family, man. They were all really, really cool. Everybody was really, really good to each other, and it was just a fun night all along.
Fuck yeah, man. And on that vein, before we dive further, how awesome is it just on that? Let's paint the picture a little bit. The shows are back. I mean, we've been in hibernation for so damn long right now. How did that feel to just get out there? You're back on a stage. You're back to doing this thing.
It's funny. You're right. This is our third show back. We did one in Tacoma, Washington. It's a place called Cult Mead. Real quick plug for my friends there. They're a heavy metal beanery in Tacoma. They're great. We did a couple more in Seattle. This was our first time out of town, and I was actually telling my guitar player a few minutes before what we're going to talk about went down, before the shit hit the fan, that I was like, man, this is just what I needed to get out of town and meet some new faces and play a show. And this was really therapeutic for me, So yeah, it is great. Shows are back. We've all been locked up for too long, and it's great to be able to get out there and do this again.
Oh man. And therapy began. So you get into the place, set it up for me. So did you got a chance to play, right? This all happened after you got a chance to play, correct?
That is correct. So,
okay.
The show was long over. Everyone had our gear was loaded out. We were all done getting our stuff out of there, and
a great show. Enjoyed the show.
Everybody enjoyed the show. We had a great night. All the bands were fantastic. I thought we got a particularly good reaction. So we're at the Shredder. There's this back patio area kind of deal. There's a bunch of benches, and everyone was there, kind of hanging out after the show and talking and. We made a lot of new friends, so we were all hanging out, and it was a really good vibe. And all of a sudden, someone said, "Hey, man, just so you know, there's some belligerent guy out back. He's really causing problems, and he's getting in people's faces. And he was giving some people a hard time. Can you just keep an eye out?" And I said, "Okay." So, I kind of looked up, and there's another guy who I just met that night. This guy Craig. Craig was confronting him, and he was kind of telling the guy, "Hey, back up and calm down." He was backing the guy up, and so was a bunch of other people. And then after that confrontation ended, this individual took a few steps towards his car and he did this. He started doing the finger guns motion into the venue. And that's when I said, well, okay, this could be bad. So I kind of started walking towards, I sort of got up and was paying more attention. And then he got in his car. And I thought, okay, hopefully he was going to go one of two ways. He's going to drive away and we're going to be good, or he's going to get back out and it's going to be bad. Ugh. So he got back out of the car, and that's when I got up and I moved in on him. So we went outside, and this Craig guy was confronting him again, and they had a bit of a confrontation, which resulted in a push. And Craig pushed this guy back. That's when I saw the gun come out. So the gun came out, and I moved in on him. I kicked him once in the inside of the leg, and I pushed him. And then as he he moved back a bit, he reached into his pants again, and he pointed the gun, and he pulled the trigger. I believe the gun was still in his pocket because I didn't see it out the second time. The second time he pulled the trigger, and he shot me right in my upper thigh.
Holy hell, brother. That is insanity.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate too, this guy was not at the show. He was not a member of the Boise metal scene whatsoever. He was some random asshole, and the cops were actually in the area because they were looking for him. I found out this out after the fact. They were looking for him because he was driving around town waving his gun at people in traffic. So somebody called the cops on this guy driving around waving his gun at people. So I am of the firm 100% belief that when he moved on the venue out of his car, he was ready to shoot the place up.
Yeah, it was going to be so much worse. Yeah, man, that's insanity, brother. That's unbelievable insanity, brother. Crazy.
Yeah, it is. I can't say I've ever seen anything like that, ever. I mean, like, sometimes when you get told there's a guy who's belligerent, he's outside, he's wasted. This guy was on a cocktail. I don't know what. He was on everything. You name it, he was probably on it. And when usually you see people who are drunk and belligerent, there's a certain, they're loud and they're screaming, and maybe they're gonna throw a punch or two, but it's not, it's nothing too scary. This guy was different. It was cold. He was cold, and he was
icy.
There was something else in his aura and his personality that was quite disturbing. So I think he had really bad intentions.
Well, you read my mind, Axel. That's exactly what I was going to ask you. Could you read it in his eyes? Could you tell that,
Yeah. I mean, I knew when he got back out of that car, I was like, I think this guy's got a gun, and I think he's going to try to use it. So I can't let this guy in the venue.
Unbelievable. Well, and a little bit of background, if I may, I've been reading up on it all day, all weekend, honestly, because it's just insane to me. It's such, like you said, it's such a therapeutic thing going in. And to come out, here you are with a fucking bullet wound, for Christ's sake. It's hard to process. But for a little bit of background, it sounds as though the confrontation started when this gentleman approached somebody with a cigarette, or either asked somebody for a cigarette or a light. Seems to be a little bit of confusion on that. But
yeah, I wasn't privy to a lot of that. That all kind of happened before it was brought to my attention. I know he was out back just causing trouble with a whole bunch of people. I didn't really see any of the particulars of anything to do with a cigarette or a lighter or anything like that. I just kind of noticed it when he did the finger gun thing and got back out of his car.
Insanity.
Yeah.
My immediate question: I've never been shot, brother. What's it feel like to be shot, man? How much did that suck?
It's pretty horrible, man. It's pretty horrible. It was funny. When I was in the back, one of the police officers asked me, and it turns out that this is a legit question because they were worried about whether I had feeling or not. They said, "Does it hurt?" I said, "Yeah, it hurts. I got a bullet in my leg." And they all started laughing, But I mean, at the time, because the thing is, after he shot me, the adrenaline's out of the thing. After he shot me, I got back up, and I called him a certain expletive that I won't utter here in polite company. And he ran away. And then at that point, my guitar player Jacqueline, she was right there. As soon as I got shot, she was right there. And after he ran off, she pulled me into a vehicle and took her hoodie off and made a makeshift tourniquet around my leg. And everybody was really helpful at the time.
Holy hell, man! So now you went from 5 seconds ago, you're feeling the jubilation of a show, the the afterglow of having just put on a cool show and fucking bunch of you know, in front of a bunch of metalheads. Now here you are with a tourniquet being tied around you. I mean, what the fuck, right?
It was a little surreal. I mean, yeah, it was a very strange feeling, and it was just kind of like one of those things where you're watching it happen, and all I could try to do was at the time was stay calm. And you know, that's one of the things the cops are like, well, if it hurts real bad, you're not letting on. I'm like, well, you know, just trying to do my best here. You know, like I got real lucky too. You know, I got with the location of the bullet's still in me. It's still in my leg. They decided that they weren't going to take it out because where it is, if they took it out, there's a potential for more nerve damage, but where it went in, it didn't hit any nerves, veins, arteries, or bone or anything. It's just lodged in my quad.
What? So wait. What's the plan there long term? Leave it?
I think so. I mean, you got guys from World War II had shrapnel till the day they're still in their body. So I mean, I'm going to go get a second opinion from a doctor. I'm going to talk to my family doctor, you know, in the next couple of weeks. But it's going to make it going through airports pretty interesting. You know, it's going to be something to explain every time I go through TSA, right?
Oh, that it is, man. Yeah, I got a bullet in me. They're going to be like, what?
Yeah, you might as well just take me right to the secondary part and you skip this.
Absolute insanity, brother. Obviously, you've been shot. You're on the ground. The guy takes off. I read in the police report that he did, in fact, shoot you through fabric. He did not take the gun apparently out of his pocket. He shot you through the fabric itself. So, so now he shot you and takes off to get away from the place now. Which, let's not understate that, man. I know that you have been somewhat coy with it, but man, dude, you diverted what could have been a horrifically worse situation right there, man, by getting involved and kicking that dude. What an act, brother. That's very metal, sir. I got to tell you.
Well, thank you. I mean, it just seemed like the only option at the time. And I got to give a shout out to my buddy Craig again, because he was right there beside me doing his part too. You know, I don't know if he saw the gun or not, but I mean, it just had to happen. We couldn't let him in the venue. We just couldn't let him in.
Oh man, dare I say it? That one bullet in you saved a whole hell of a lot more bullets from flying around that night, sir.
I would do it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had to smile. Being laid up on this couch really sucks, but I would do it again.
Oh,
absolutely.
Let's talk more about that, because it follows into where, you know, people obviously right now are probably wondering what happened. Did the guy get caught? What's going on with this dude? Let's talk about that in a second. Let's play a Greyhawk song for everybody.
Let's do that.
Yeah, and then we'll come back and finish our tale together. How's that sound?
That sounds great. Let's do it.
Hey, man, let's play Don't Wait for the Wizard out there for everybody. Again, this is my motherfucking brother, Darin, out of Greyhawk. Hey, I'll say it. I know you won't say it, but I'm going to say it. You played the role of Metalhead and Hero, sir. And I love it. I love it. Well, hey, don't wait for the wizard, but we did wait for a badass, and the badass arrived, man. That was you, sir. So let's play this jam and come back and finish this tale, shall we?
Let's shall.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, everybody, this is Darin Wall with Greyhawk. You are watching Metalomania, the Crypt and Scully. This is awesome.
man, the first monster I see, I'm gonna sneak up behind him, whip out my wand, and shoot my magic all over his ass.
The bands playing at the Shredder were packing up in the early hours of Sunday morning. Wall says Bird didn't attend the show but arrived after and quickly got in a disagreement with a member from one of the other bands.
Out of Seattle, Washington, by the way, man. If you're not following that band already, please, hey, Darin, tell them what's the best way to follow and make sure they're not missing Greyhawk. They just heard a jam and now they want to follow it and pick up this copy. So,
yeah, you can hit us up on Bandcamp. It's greyhawkmetal.bandcamp.com. We have a Facebook, Greyhawk Metal, same with Instagram, same address. You can go to, if you're in Europe, you can go to our label, Fighter Records out of Spain. They have our stuff for sale there. You'll save yourself a whole lot of money in shipping. So yeah, those are the best ways to get a hold of us. And if I can get off this damn bed, we're gonna have another gig. We're gonna have a couple of gigs in September with Unleash the Archers and with Michelangelo Badio from Nitro, actually.
Oh, fuck yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
So we'll have a couple gigs there if I can get off this damn couch.
Yeah, well, that is my immediate question. How is the prognosis? Are you looking to be back in the game here soon, or what are we talking about here?
I'm not sure. I mean, I've done a little bit of reading. I try to stay off the internet as much as I can when it comes to, anything like that, because you can, every time you're trying to diagnose yourself, you can convince yourself that you have rickets or something for too long. So I've read that gunshot wounds to the leg can take up to 10 days to heal. But it feels like the bleeding in the wound has stopped. And we'll just have to take it day by day. And as soon as I can start doing a little exercise, a little physio, I'll start doing that and follow up with my primary care doctor here a little bit. And, we'll just take it day by day. Hopefully I can get back to, I got a job where I can work from home. So, I should be okay in that regard. So, but they've told me to take a couple of days off if I need them. So that's really cool.
Well, hey, I would hope so. You only got shot, brother. I mean, damn. What do you got to do to get a day off if that doesn't do it?
I don't work for Amazon, so I could probably get a day off.
Oh man, insanity. Yeah, and honestly, we left off one of the worst details of this thing, man, because
it was my 41st birthday.
There you go.
Like I said, like I showed you before, I made that little meme where it said, "Is my goofy picture from after the morning after." It says I went to Boise for a show on my birthday, and all I got was this stupid bullet
that I get to carry around forever. Apparently, what the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, it was. I guess it's just bad. I guess it's just. I don't know if it's good or bad timing. It's just timing. It's just is the day it happened to happen on. So
man. Hey, if they say chicks dig scars, what do they think of, like, shrapnel? I mean, that's a whole nother level.
I'll have to ask my wife what she thinks.
Yeah.
How it heads up.
I'm curious on the feedback on that one, sir. Yeah.
She hasn't left me yet. So so far so good.
Well, that's my next question. Does your wife give you? A lot of the rest of us are giving you hero treatment right now, but is the wife, or is she just nonplussed?
She's awesome. She's really taking care of me.
Awesome.
I got everything I need. She's been awesome. She had everything ready to go and organized when I got back. So yeah, I'm in good hands.
Awesome. Yeah, that had to be a pretty awful call for her to receive too, I would imagine.
Yeah, I was thinking of holding off till the morning, and then it started hitting social media pretty quick. So I had to call her at about 3 a.m. from my hospital bed and wake her up, and that was not a lot of fun.
Not a lot of fun.
Did not want her to find out via Facebook.
Ugh. Yeah, no, that's not good. She might just kick you in the ass for that one, and it's hard to blame her. So
yeah, exactly. Believe it or not, you find it on Facebook, you get a kick in the butt.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad business. All right. Well, so now again, it's your birthday. You just did a show. Now you've done Kick the Gun Man, and again, I'm going to say it again. Saved so many, who knows how many bullets from flying around that in Boise, Idaho that night, man. I mean, I can't even imagine. The guy was clearly off his rocker. The guy was clearly ready to use lethal force, and I mean, we're talking a matter of inches, and you're not here anymore, brother. I mean, that's no understatement to say.
Yeah, man, it missed one of my arteries by an inch.
Holy, wow.
I did get pretty lucky. So, like I said, I don't, these are one of those situations where, when people, I would not judge anybody else for their reaction in a situation because it's dangerous. I'm joking about it, but, not to understate, and I'll try to understate it. Definitely was lucky. And, we kind of got away with the best case scenario we could have gotten away with. Obviously, the better case scenario was he doesn't shoot his gun.
Yeah,
but,
right.
if he's going to do that, you know, and I take one in the leg and it's not life threatening and everyone lives, then hey, you know, that's okay.
Could have been worse, man. Could have been worse.
Yes, sir.
Good grief. He takes off running. My understanding is he has been captured, right?
Yeah, he didn't get far. The police were actually in the area looking for him. So, and before I headed out, I did tell somebody to call the police. I said, before I went out, I said, call the police. Whether they did or not, I'm not certain. But
this is before you got shot, you mean? Before you went out?
Before I got shot. When I was heading out to confront the guy, I told someone to call the police. Because I kind of pretty bad. I had a feeling this was going to go bad. So, yeah, but the cops, the police were there like right away. Rumor has it they got him. They cornered him in the parking up next to a building not far from the venue. And it took a while. He wouldn't comply for a minute. He was belligerent and not complying. And, you know, according to some people, they saw the police move in, you know, and they're like, he's like, oh God, they're going to shoot him. They're going to shoot him. But they managed to take him peacefully somehow. So yeah, he's in custody. He gets arraigned tomorrow, I believe. And then it's just going to be, you know, we're going to see what happens one step at a time.
Wow. Well, I would imagine you're going to be a key witness in what goes down there in a courtroom sometime in the future too, right?
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, the fact is he was wanted for a few things. So, you know, my drummer's a parole officer, and he said, you know, they might not even need you. They likely have everything they need on this guy.
Right.
To away. So, and he might even just plead guilty. You never know.
Right. Yeah. May never see a courtroom, honestly. Yeah.
I'd like not to, but you know, we'll do what we got to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The dude's got to pay, man. The dude's got to pay.
I agree.
You know, you can't be the only one that pays here.
Correct. Correct.
You know, and honestly, right now the heaviest bill is right there in your thigh so far. So that's pretty heavy pay. Yeah,
absolutely. You're right about that, man. You're right about that.
Well, that's crazy, man, dude. What a wild tale. What an insanely uncool way to spend your birthday, brother. Fuck.
Yeah, it was yeah. I mean, it was cool, but not cool. I mean, like, you know, they still got to go hang out in Boise. I still got to play a great show. You know, I gotta say the hospital staff in Boise were incredible. Like, they really, those healthcare workers, man, they're working so hard right now. You know, with the way the world's been the last year and a half, they're all busting their butts, and they're all understaffed, and they have people quitting, and they're still giving it everything they have. And everybody at that hospital was wonderful, and the paramedics were wonderful. The guy who was dressing my wound, fixing my wound up in the ambulance, was a field medic in Afghanistan for many years, so I felt like I was in the best hands I could possibly be in. And they were all really good. I mean, the only crappy thing is I had these really nice stage pants. They got taken for evidence because there's a ballistic hole in them. I'm like, man, I paid a lot of money for those things. So
yeah. Oh well, do you get those back ever, man? Because I got to say, that's a souvenir worth keeping there.
Yeah, I might. Well, I got the detective's phone number, so we'll see what they need to do with it, what happens with it after the fact. So we'll see.
Good grief, man. Well, you know, hey, in 20 years, when the bullet makes its way to the surface, man, you know, I'm sure it'll, you know, there's a nice little glass case you can keep it in on the bookshelf or something. So
yeah, yes, sir, absolutely.
That's good shit, man. Darin, dude, honestly, I tell you this from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of the heart of the Metalomaniacs here in the studio. We're glad you're still here kicking and breathing to tell us this tale, man. Scully's over here in the background saying, tell that motherfucker he's a hero. And I think I did like 2 or 3 times now, but I'm telling you again, man, I'm glad you're still here to tell this tale, man, for real, brother. That could have gone so horribly wrong.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. And thank you for having me on. And I'm happy that I'm here to tell it to you as well. And I'm happy that I get to meet you.
Me too, brother. Hey, thank you, Darin, man. I appreciate your time very much, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well.
Hero, it's an appropriate word, and when his band does come to town, I sure hope somebody hands him a medal. He deserves it.
That's right.
That dude's a badass.